Once again, I welcome to RM Classroom. So today I will discuss the clause related to the IS 456, and in this IS 456 I will discuss the uh, longitudinal enforcement in column, minimum longitudinal enforcement and maximum longitudinal enforcement taken in the column, and then after that the codal provision about the pitch and diameter of lateral ties, and after that I will discuss the characteristics strength and characteristic load suggested by the IS 456 2000, and then a partial factor of safety taken for the limit state of collapse and limit state of serviceability, and after that I will discuss the limit state of collapse in flexure and the various assumption I will discuss, and then I will derive the total compressive force and total tensile force and the expression of the actual depth of neutral axis, and then I will solve problems based on this. Then I will discuss the shear strength of concrete and nominal shear stress, and what is the criteria to provide the minimum shear reinforcement and shear reinforcement, and then spacing in case of vertically stride up, inclined stride up and bent up bars, and then problem based on this shear strength of concrete. So let us discuss about the clause related to the column. So code says that the minimum cross-sectional area of longitudinal reinforcement shall not be less than 0.8% and not more than 6% of the gross cross-sectional area in the column. And the minimum number of longitudinal bars provided in a column shall be 4 in case of rectangular column and 6 in case of circular column. So in case of rectangular column, a minimum number of bars is provided is 4, and in case of circular column we have to provide minimum number of bar is, that is 6. The bar shall not be less than 12 mm diameter, and each bar should have minimum diameter of 12 mm. A reinforced concrete column having helical reinforcement shall have at least 6 bars of longitudinal reinforcement within the helical reinforcement, and spacing of the longitudinal bars measured along the periphery of the column shall not exceed 300 mm. So this is the codal provision. So this question is asked in Engineering Services Examination 1996. The limit of percentage P of longitudinal reinforcement in a column. So I told you that the minimum percentage of steel is 0.8% of the gross cross-sectional area, and maximum is 6%. So 0.8 to 6%. C option is correct. In case of pedestal, longitudinal reinforcement not less than 0.15% of the cross-sectional area. If I talk about the pitch and diameter of lateral tie, so the pitch according to IS 456 2000 code says that the pitch is the least lateral dimension of the compression member, or 16 times the smallest diameter of the longitudinal reinforcement bar, or 300 mm, whichever is less. Similarly, diameter, so diameter value suggested by the code 1/4 of the diameter of the largest longitudinal bar, or 6 mm, whichever is more. So let us take the problem. Lateral tie in RC column are provided to resist. So lateral ties are provided to resist the buckling of longitudinal steel bars, shear, bending moment, both bending moment and shear. So option C is correct for the buckling of the longitudinal steel bars. Second question I have taken, that is a square column section of size 350 mm by 350 mm. Let us assume this is the size of the square column. Is reinforced with 4 bars of 25 mm diameter and 4 bars of 16 mm diameter. Then the transverse steel should be. So here we have to decide the value of pitch and diameter of the lateral tie. So here we can see that the size is given. Size of the column is 350 by 350 mm, and it is reinforced with 4 bars of 25 mm diameter and 4 bars of 16 mm diameter. So pitch code says that the value of pitch is least lateral dimension. So least lateral dimension is 350 mm or 16 times the diameter of smallest diameter of the main bar. So 16 into 16 16 into 16 or 300 mm, whichever is less, whichever is less. So if I compute the value, so it will be 350 mm, 256 mm or 300 mm, whichever is less. So we can take the value 250 mm we can provide. Similarly, if I talk about the diameter, so code says that about the diameter, so it will be about the diameter, so it is 1/4 of the diameter of the largest longitudinal bar or 6 mm. So 1/4 of the largest bar, so 1/4 into largest bar provided, so it will be 25 mm. So 1 by 4 into 25 or 6 mm, whichever is more, whichever is more. So it will be 6.25 or 6 mm. So we can provide 6.25 we cannot provide, so it will be either 8 mm. So if I see option, so it will be 6 mm 250 centimeter 250 mm center to center, 8 mm diameter at the rate of 250 mm center to center, or 8 mm diameter 350. So we have already decided that the pitch will be provided as 250 mm and the diameter as, so 8 mm we can provide, that is whichever is more, so it will provide 8 mm. Fine. So the critical section for shear. So according to IS 456, there are two types of shear failure in the footing. The first one is one-way shear and two-way shear or punching shear. So in case of one-way shear, the critical section is at a distance d from the face of the column or wall, where d is the effective depth, and in case of two-way shear or punching shear, the critical section is at a distance of d by 2 from the face of the column. Code also suggests that how to compute the bearing stress. So according to the working stress, the bearing stress can be computed as 0.25 into FCK, or in case of limit state, the bearing stress is 0.45 into FCK. So let us take one problem. While designing for a steel column of Fe250 grade, the base plate resting on a concrete pedestal of M20 grade, the bearing strength of concrete in limit state method of design as per IS 456-2000 is. So this question is asked in GATE 2014, 1 marks. So the bearing in limit state method, in limit state method, bearing strength of concrete is equal to 0.45 into FCK. So it will be 0.45 into 20. So this value is 0.45 into 20. So it will be 9 Newton per mm square. The characteristics strength, the strength of the material below which not more than 5% of the test result are expected to fall. Similarly, the code also given the definition of characteristics load. So the characteristic load means that value of load which has 95% probability of not being exceeded during the life of the structure. Design strength can be computed as F by gamma m, where gamma is the partial safety factor for the concrete, and design load can be computed as characteristics load into partial factor of safety. So partial factor of safety court suggested that for the concrete is 1.5 and for the steel is 1.15. So according to clause 36.4.2.1, the value of partial factor for loads. So in case of limit state of collapse, the load combination is like that. For the dead load and live load, if I will take it into account, so the it will be 1.5 into 1.5. For the dead load plus wind load, so the combination is 1.5 1.5. And if I take the three loads, dead load plus live load, either wind load or earthquake load, so it will be 1.2 1.2 1.2. Similarly, in limit state of serviceability, the combination of dead load plus live load, so the factor is 1 1. And for the dead load plus wind load or earthquake load, so it will be 1 unity and unity. And for the combination of all these three, dead load plus live load plus wind load or dead load plus live load plus earthquake load, so it will be 1 0.8 0.8. While considering earthquake effect, substitute EL for WL. So either we have to take wind load or earthquake load. So let us take problem based on this. So a reinforced concrete beam is subjected to the following bending moments. Dead load, due to the dead load, the bending moment is 20 kilonewton meter. A live load, it is 30 kilonewton meter, and for the seismic load, it is 10 kilonewton meter. So the design bending moment of limit state of collapse is. So for the limit state of collapse, according to limit state of collapse, so we can take either 1.5 into dead load plus live load, so it will be 1.5. The moment is 20 plus 30, 20 plus 30, so it will be 50 into 1.5, so 75 kilonewton meter. Or we can take the another combination, that is 1.5 times dead load plus earthquake load is given, seismic load, so it will be earthquake load, so 1.5 into 20 plus seismic, due to the seismic load it is 10, so it will be 10, so 45 kilonewton meter. Third combination is 1.2 into dead load plus live load plus seismic load or earthquake load, so it will be 1.2, 20 plus 30 plus 10, so it will be 30 and 20 60, 50 and 10 60, so it will be 72 kilonewton meter. So the maximum value of the moment is 75 kilonewton meter. So we have to take the maximum value, so it will be 75 kilonewton meter. Similarly, if I take the another problem, this is asked in GATE 2008. Unfactored maximum bending moment at a section of a reinforced concrete beam resulting from a frame analysis are 50, 80, 120 and 180 kilonewton under dead, live, wind and earthquake load respectively. So the design moment as per IS 456 2000 for the limit state of collapse. So once again it is the problem related to the limit state of collapse. So under dead load, bending moment is 50, live load it is 80, wind load it is 120 and earthquake load it is 180 kilonewton meter. So once again for the limit state of collapse, so according to limit state of collapse, so the first combination is 1.5 into dead load plus live load, so it will be 1.5 into dead load 50 plus 80, so 50 plus 80, so it will be 1.5 into 1.5 into So it will be 195 kilonewton meter. 195 kilonewton meters. Second combination is 1.5 times dead load plus wind load or earthquake load. So it will be 1.5 dead load into plus wind load. So this will be the 255 kilonewton meter. Similarly, if I take 1.5 dead load plus earthquake load, so 1.5 into the moment due to the wind dead load, it is 50, and due to the earthquake load it is 180. So 50 plus 180, so it will be 1.5 into 50 plus 180, so it is 345 kilonewton meter. Similarly, the fourth combination, that is 1.2 dead load plus live load plus wind load. So it will be 1.2, 50 plus 80 plus 120. So the value will be 1.2 into 130 plus 120. So it is 300 kilonewton meter. And similarly, the fifth combination, that is 1.2 moment due to the dead load plus live load plus earthquake load. So it is 1.2, 50 plus 80 plus 180. So 1.2 into 50 plus 80 plus 180. So it will be 372 kilonewton meter. 372 kilonewton meter. So the maximum value we have to take the maximum moment, that is 372 kilonewton meter. So if I see the option, so D option is correct. So now I'm going to discuss the limit state of collapse flexure. So various assumptions taken in the by the code. Plane section normal to the axis remains plane after bending, means strain is linear. The maximum strain in concrete at the outermost compression fiber is 0.0035 in bending, and the tensile strength of concrete is ignored. Similarly, the stress strain curve for concrete is given as, so we can see that this is the stress strain curve, and the factor of safety of concrete is taken, that is 1.5, and we can see that up to the strain of 0.002 the strain is increases, and then it will be constant value. And the we can see here the maximum strain in the tension reinforcement in the section at failure shall not be less than 0.87 Fy by ES plus 0.002y. So firstly we have to find the what is the this is the rectangular beam I have taken, having width B and effective depth D, and this is the strain diagram. Because plane section before bending remains after plane, means strain is linear, and the maximum strain at the outermost compression fiber is 0.0035, and here the code suggests 0.87 Fy by ES plus 0.002. Similarly, this is the stress diagram. So the at the outermost compression fiber the stress is 0.45 FCK, and we have to find the value of C1 C2, and then the value of X bar and lever arm, that is the effective depth minus this X bar. So we can compute the firstly we have to find the value of x1 x2. So just apply the similar triangle, that is 0.0035 by xu is equal to 0.002 by x2. So we can compute in strain diagram, in strain diagram we can write 0.0035 divided by xu is equal to 0.002 divided by x2. So x2, so here x2 can be computed as 0.002 divided by 0.0035. So it will be 4 by 7 XU. 4 by 7 XU. So x1 can be computed as XU minus 4 by 7 XU. So it will be 3 by 7 XU. So if I compute the compressive force, so we can see that the in stress diagram, so for up to certain depth, that is up to depth x1, the stress is linear and then it is a parabolic in nature. So we can compute the C1. So compressive force can be computed in rectangular portion. So B into area of stress diagram. So B into area of stress diagram, we can write the stress 0.45 FCK into x1. So it will be, the value of x1 is 3 by 7 XU. So 3 by 7 XU into 0.45 FCK. So it will be 3 into 0.45 by 7. 3 into 0.45 divided by 7. So it will be 0.1928. 0.1928 FCK B XU. So similarly, the y1 bar can be computed as half of the rectangular portion. So it will be 1 by 2 into 3 by, if I see this, so it will be half of the 3 by 7 XU. So it will be half of 3 by 7 XU means 3 by 14 XU. Similarly, the stress can be computed in this parabolic portion. So it will be the area of this stress diagram into B. So B into 4 by 7 XU into 0.2 third of 0.45 FCK. So here if I write, the C2 is P into 2 third of 0.45 FCK into 4 by 7 XU. So it will be 0.1714 FCK BXU. Similarly, Y2 bar can be computed as, so the from the top, so from the top it will be 3 by 7 XU plus 3 by 8 into 4 by 7 XU. Here we can see that it will be 3 by 7 XU. This value is 3 by 7 XU plus the CG of this parabolic portion 3 by 8 into this 4 by 7 XU. So it will be 3 by 8. So this value will be 9 by 14 XU. So the total compressive force can be written as C1 plus C2. So C1 is, the value of C1 is 0.1928. So 0.1928 0.1928 FCK BXU plus 0.1714 FCK BXU. So it will be, total compressive force is equal to 0.36 FCK BXU. So this is the total compressive force will act, and total tensile force we know. Total tensile force is 0.87 Fy into AST, and this total compressive force will act at a distance of y bar. So y bar can be computed as C1 into y1 bar, C1 into y1 bar plus C2 into y2 bar divided by total compressive force. So it will be, if you compute, so here 0.1928 FCK BXU, 0.1928 0.1928 FCK BXU and FCK BSU, it will be cancelled. So it will be 3 by 14 XU plus 0.1714 into 9 by 14 XU divided by, it will be, total compressive force is 0.36. So this value will be 0.42 XU. So the total compressive force will act at a height of or distance of 0.42 XU from the compression, top compression fiber. So lever arm Z is equal to lever arm, we can write here, this value is lever arm, so it will be D minus Y bar. So we can write D minus Y bar, so D minus 0.42 into XU. This is the lever arm. Take the problem. The minimum strain at failure in the tensile reinforcement Fy 400 megapascal of RCC as per limit state method. So the strain at the tension side can be written as, so strain is equal to 0.87 Fy by Es plus 0.002. So the strain value is 0.87 into Fy is 400 divided by 2 into 10 to the power 5 plus 0.002. So the value will be 0.87 into 400 divided by 2 into 10 to the power 5 plus 0.002. So it will be 0.0037. So the value will be 0.0037. So C option is correct. Assuming the straight line instead of parabola. So here the IS code, the stress diagram is, some parts is linear or after that it is parabolic, but here in the question assume straight line instead of parabola for a stress strain curve of concrete as given below, and the partial factor of safety as 1 we have to take. So a rectangular under reinforced concrete section of 300 mm width and 500 mm effective depth is reinforced with 3 bar of grade Fe415 each of 16 mm diameter. Concrete mix is M20. So we have to find the depth of neutral axis from the compression fiber. So here we have to, we cannot apply for the computation of neutral axis total compressive force is total tensile force, and the total compressive force is not 0.36 FCK/BXU because the factor of safety is changed and the stress diagram is also changed. So here we have to derive the expression of total compressive force. So let us assume this is our B and the reinforcement is done 3 bars of 16 mm diameter. This value, let us assume this is the neutral axis, this is the strain diagram, and the stress diagram we can see that it will be like that. It is not parabolic, it is a linear portion, and we can see that strain, maximum strain is 0.0035, so 0.0035, and this strain is 0.002, and this value is XU, and here we can see that the factor of safety as 1. So the design strength is 0.67 FCK divided by 1. So it will be 0.67 FCK. 0.67 FCK divided by 1. So it will be 0.67 FCK. So if I compute the, so this value will be same here, 0.87 Fy by Es plus 0.002, because factor of safety is changed for the concrete. So if I compute the value of C1, so let us assume this is C1, this is C2. So C1 can be written as, this value is, we have already seen this value is 3 by 7 XU and this value is 4 by 7 XU. So C1 is B into area, so it will be 0.67 FCK into 3 by 7 XU. So this value will be 0.67 into 3, 0.67 into 3 divided by 7. So it will be 0.287 FCK BXU. Similarly, C2 can be written as, so C2, so it will be B into, now this portion is linear, so it will be 1 by 2 into 0.67 FCK, 1 by 2 into 0.67 FCK into 4 by 7 XU. So it will be 0.5 into 0.67 into 4 divided by 7. So it is coming 0.191, 0.191 FCK BXU. So total compressive force C is equal to C1 plus C2. So C1 is 0.287 plus, it will be 0.191. So it is coming 0.478, 0.478 FCK BXU. So total compressive force is equal to total tensile force. So 0.478 FCK BXU is equal to 0.87 Fy into AST. So the value can be computed. The actual depth of neutral axis, that is 0.87 into Fy is 415 into 3 into pi by 4 into 16 square divided by 0.478 into 20 into 300. So it is coming 76 mm. So if I see the option, so the first option is uh, that is 76 mm. In the second part, the depth of neutral axis obtained as per IS 456-2000 differ from the depth of neutral axis obtained in the above question. So according to the question, we have computed the actual depth of neutral axis, but as per IS 456-2000, so as per IS 456-2000, so the actual compressive force is, total compressive force is 0.36 FCK BXU and total tensile force is 0.87 Fy into AST. So if I equate the total compressive force is total tensile force, so the neutral axis as per IS 456 can be computed as 0.87 Fy into AST divided by 0.36 FCK into B. So if I compute the value, so 0.87 into 415 into AST, so it will be 3 into pi by 4 into 256 into 0.36 into FCK is 20 and width of the beam is 300 mm. So it will be 300. So the value will be 0.87 into 415 into 3 into 256 into pi divided by 4 into 0.36 into 20 into 300. So it is coming 100.83, 100.824 mm. So the difference 100.824 minus 76. So it will be 100.824 minus 76. So it will be 24.824. 24.824. So it is approximately 25 mm. So it is differ from by 25 mm. So C option is correct. So accordingly we have to apply. Blindly we don't apply the total compressive force is 0.36 FCK as per IS 456, but in the question sometimes the stress diagram will change. Sometimes the factor of safety will change. Instead of 1.5, we have to take the factor of safety as 1 for both concrete and steel. So we have to take care of this, and accordingly we have to apply the formula. So now I am going to discuss the limit state of collapse shear. So clause 40.1, the nominal shear stress can be computed as per limit state method, that is VU by BD, where VU is the shear force, factored shear force due to design load, and B is the width of the member, and D is the effective depth. Similarly, for varying depth, the nominal shear stress can be computed as Vu plus minus Mu by D into tan beta divided by B into D, where Mu is the bending moment at the section, beta is the angle between top and bottom edge of the beam. And we have to apply the negative sign in the formula applies when the bending moment increases numerically in the same direction as the D increases. And we have to apply the positive formula if the bending moment decreases, positive sign when the moment decreases numerically in the direction. Here we can see that for this figure we have to use the negative sign, and for this figure we have to use the positive sign. Negative sign, here we can see that the bending moment is decreases, and here we can see that the bending moment is increases. So accordingly we have to apply the plus or minus sign. Code clause 40.2, design shear strength of concrete. So that this is the design shear strength of concrete is the function of percent tensile reinforcement and grade of concrete, and design shear strength of concrete in beam without shear reinforcement is the function of percentage of tension steel and shear strength of concrete. For solid slab, the design shear strength of concrete shall be K times the TOSI, where K has the value given below. So here we can see that for the overall depth 300 mm or more, we have to take the value of K is unity, and for every decrease in 25 mm we have to increase the value of K by 0.05. Here we can see that for 275 it is 1.05. Once again 25 mm decrease, we have to increase the value of 0.05, so it is 1.1. Or the overall depth of the slab is 150 or less, so we have to use the value of K is 1.3, and K into TOSI will be the design shear strength of the concrete. Similarly, the shear strength of member under axial compression. So for member subjected to axial compression, the PU value, the design shear strength of concrete shall be multiplied by delta, that is delta into tau into C, where delta is 1 plus 3 PU by AG into FCK, or 1.5, whichever is less, where AG is the gross area of concrete section in mm square, and PU is the axial compressive force in Newton. For the design of shear strength, if the TOV nominal shear stress is less than 0.5 times TOSI, so no shear reinforcement is provided. And if the value of nominal shear stress lies between 0.5 TOSI to tau, then the provide minimum shear reinforcement. And if the nominal shear stress is exceed the value of shear strength of the concrete, so provide shear reinforcement for tau v minus tau c. The shear reinforcement should not be less than minimum shear reinforcement. And if the nominal shear stress exceed the maximum shear strength of concrete, then in that case we have to redesign the section. So here I have written tau c max is the maximum shear strength of concrete, which is the function of grade of concrete only. So one thing we have to remember, that shear strength of concrete is the function of percentage tensile reinforcement and grade of concrete, and the maximum shear strength of concrete is only the function of the grade of concrete. And here we have written that if the nominal shear stress is greater than the shear strength of concrete, then shear reinforcement is provided in three form: the vertical shear reinforcement, vertical stride up, bent up bar along with the stride up, and inclined stride ups. So here we can see that shear reinforcement shall be provided if tau v greater than tau c and tau v is less than tau c max, to carry the shear equal to VUS is equal to VU minus tau c BD. For vertical stride up, here we can use VUS is equal to 0.87 FY ASBD divided by SB, where SB is the spacing, ASB is the shear area, and D is the effective depth, and VUS is the shear strength of shear reinforced concrete, And for inclined stand up, we have to use the this formula. With the help of this formula, we have to find the VUS. Similarly, for the bent up bars, we have to use VUS is equal to 0.87 Fy ASB into sine alpha, where SV is the spacing of stride up, ASB is the total cross sectional area of stride up leg, and alpha is the angle between the inclined stride up or bent up bar and the axis of the member not less than 45 degree. So let us take the few problems based on this design of shear. So a rectangular beam of width 230 mm and effective depth is 450 mm is reinforced with 4 bars of 12 mm diameter. The grade of concrete is M20 and grade of steel is Fe500. Given that for M20 grade of concrete, the ultimate shear strength of concrete is 0.36 Newton per mm square for steel percentage of 0.25 and 0.48 for the steel percentage of 0.5. So for a factored shear force of 45 kilonewton, the diameter of Fe500 steel two-legged stride up to be used at a spacing of 375 mm should be. So here in the question, firstly we have to compute the shear strength of concrete, because before that we have to percentage tensile reinforcement PT is equal to 100 AST divided by P into D. So it will be 100 into reinforcement is given, it is 4 bars of 12 mm diameter. So 4 bars of 12 mm diameter. So 4 into pi by 4 into 144 divided by 4 into B. So width is 230 mm and effective depth is 450 mm. So 230 into 450. So it will be 100 into pi into 144 divided by 230 into 450. So it is coming 0.437, 0.437%. So for this value we have to find the shear strength of concrete, because I told you the shear strength of concrete depends on both grade of concrete and percentage tensile reinforcement. So for the percentage tensile reinforcement of 0.25, the value of tau c is given. So P and tau c it is given. So for 0.25 and 0.5, 0.5, the value of shear strength is 0.36 and 0.48, 0.36 Newton per mm square and 0.48 Newton per mm square, and PT in percentage. So we have to find the shear strength of concrete for the percentage tensile reinforcement of 0.437. So we have to find the shear strength of concrete. So shear strength of concrete at PT is equal to 0.437% is equal to 0.36 plus 0.48 minus 0.36 divided by 0.5 minus 0.25. So it will be 0.25 into 0.437, 0.437 minus 0.25. So the value will be 0.36 plus 0.48 minus 0.36 divided by 0.25 into 0.437 minus 0.25. So it will be 0.45 Newton per mm square. So the shear strength of concrete can be used as 0.45 Newton per mm square. So the if I compute the nominal shear stress, so nominal shear stress tau b is equal to Vu by Bd. So the factored shear force is given, that is 45 kilonewton. So 45 into 1000 divided by 230 into 450. So it will be 0.434 Newton per mm square. So if I compare this value with the shear strength of concrete, so tau v is less than tau c, means minimum shear reinforcement is required. Minimum shear reinforcement is required. So the minimum shear reinforcement can be computed by ASB divided by B into SB greater than equal to 0.487, 0.4 divided by 0.87 Fy. Remember in mind that this Fy should be limited to 415 Newton per mm square. So ASB is equal to 0.4 into B into SB divided by 0.87 into Fy. So ASB can be written as ASB is equal to 0.4 into B 230 into spacing is given, that is 375. So it will be 375 divided by 0.87 into Fy. So 0.87 into Fy. So it is in the question, it is given 500, but IS code suggests that the Fy value should not exceed 415 Newton per mm square. So we have to limit the value of Fy is 415 Newton per mm square. So it will be 0.4 into 230 into 375 divided by 0.87 into 415. So it is 95.5 mm square. So for a factor of safety, the dia of the bar for the two legged. So for two legged, it will be 2 into 5 by 4 into 5 square is equal to 95.5. So 5 is equal to 95.55 into 4 divided by 2 pi square root. So it will be the square root of 95.55 into 4 divided by 2 pi. So it is coming 7.79. So we can provide 7.799 mm. So we can provide 8 mm diameter. So if I see the option, so it will be 8 mm. Let us take another problem. So a RC beam of rectangular cross section of width 230 mm and effective depth of 400 mm is subjected to a maximum factored shear force of 120 kilonewton. The grade of concrete, main steel and tied up steel are M20, Fe415 and Fe250. The area of main steel provided for the design shear strength tau c as per IS 456-2000 is 0.48 Newton per mm square. The beam is subjected for the limit state of collapse. The spacing of two-legged 8 mm is tied up to be. So for the two-legged is tied up. So firstly we have to find the value of nominal factored shear force is given. So firstly I will check whether minimum shear reinforcement is required or shear reinforcement is required. So factored shear force is 120 kilonewton. So nominal shear stress is 120 into 10 to the power 3 divided by the 230 into 400. 230 into 400. So it will be 120 divided by, so it is coming 1.304 Newton per mm square, and the value of tau c is given in the question, that is 0.48. So 0.48 Newton per mm square. So here tau v is greater than tau c. So shear reinforcement is required. Shear reinforcement is required. So, so for vertical stride up, we can write VUS is equal to 0.87 Fy ASVD divided by SV. So it will be 0.87 Fy ASV into D divided by SV. So here spacing can be computed by 0.87 Fy into ASV into D divided by VUS. So we can write SV is equal to 0.87 into grade of steel is for the shear reinforcement, it is main steel is, it is 415, and Fe 250 for the tied up steel. So it will be 250 into ASV. So here the area of shear reinforcement is given, this 2 leg 8 mm diameter. So it will be 2 into pi by 4, 2 into pi by 4 into 8 whole square into effective depth. So effective depth is 400 mm. So it is 400 mm divided by 4 into VUS. So VUS can be written as VU minus tossibity. So VU is given, it is 120 kilonewton. So it will be 120 into 10 to the power 3 minus tossi. Shear strength of concrete is given 0.48. So it will be 0.48 into B into D. So B is given 230 into 400. 230 into 400. So if I compute this value, 0.87 into 250 into 2 into pi into 64 into 400 divided by 4 into 120 minus 0.48 into 230 into 400. So it is coming 115.32. So it is coming 115.32 mm. So if I see the option, so it will be B option is correct. Another question that is asked in GATE 2016. A varying depth RC beam is simply supported at both ends is shown in the figure. The beam is subjected to a uniformly distributed factor load intensity of 10 kN per meter. The design shear force at the section XX of the beam. So this is a varying depth question. So the shear stress, uh, shear force. So firstly we have to compute the nominal shear stress at XX. So tau b at XX can be written as Bu plus minus. So here we have to use there is a decrease in depth, so positive sign is used. So Bu plus Mu by D into tan beta divided by B into D. So firstly we have to find the moment D at XX. So Mu can be written as Mu at XX is equal to, so the support reaction is 10 into 20, 200 by 2 means 100. 100 kilonewton, 100 kilonewton. So it will be 100 into 5. Mux can be computed as 100 into 5 minus 10 into 5 into 5 by 2. So it will be 500 minus 250. Sorry, uh, 125. So it will be 500 minus 125. So it is coming 375 kilonewton meter. 375 kilonewton meter. Similarly, VU can be computed as, so VU at XX is equal to, so it will be 100 into 5, sorry, 100 minus 5 into 5, 10 into 5. So it will be 10 into 5 it will be 10 into 5, so it is 50 kilonewton. So tan beta can be computed as tan beta will be, it will be p by perpendicular by base, so it will be 600 minus 400. So tan beta can be written as tan beta is equal to 600 minus 400 divided by base. So base is 10 meter. So 10 meter means 10 meter means 10,000 mm. So it will be 200 divided by 10,000. So 200 divided by 10,000, 200 divided by, so it is 0.02, 0.02. Similarly, the d at xx can be computed as, so it will be uh, this value will be, this value is 5 meter, so this depth can be computed as, if I compute this value, so 600 minus this value, so 600, this value is, this value is 200 mm, so 200 divided by, we can compute this value, so this will, let us assume this value is z, this depth is z, and this depth is 600 minus 400, so this is 200 mm. So 200 by 10 meter, so 200 divided by 10 is equal to z by 5, so it will be, z is equal to 100 mm. So depth at xx is equal to 600 minus 100 mm, so it is 500 mm. So design shear can be computed as, design shear vu at xx is equal to nominal shear stress into area b into d. So it can be written as vu plus mu by d into tan beta. So it will be 50 plus 375 divided by 0.5 into 0.02. So it will be 50 plus 375 into 0.02 divided by 0.5. So it is 65 kilonewton. So 65 kilonewton is the design shear. Let us assume the another. Let us take the another problem. So consider two RCC beam P and Q, each having the section 400 mm by 750 mm effective depth, made with concrete having TOSY max is 2.1 Newton per mm square. For the reinforcement provided and grade of concrete used, it may be assumed as shear strength of concrete is 0.75 Newton per mm square. The design shear in beam P and Q is 400 kilonewton and 750 kilonewton respectively. So if I make two beam, this is beam P and the another beam is Q, this is Q, and the dimension of P and Q having the same dimension 400 by 750, 400, this is also 400, and effective depth is 750, effective depth is 750, this is also 750 mm. Maximum shear strength of concrete is 2.1 Newton per mm square. TOSY max is equal to 2.1 Newton per mm square. Shear strength of concrete is given, that is 0.75 kilonewton per mm square. 0.75 Newton per mm square. Design shear VP is given, VUP, it is 400 kilonewton and 750 kilonewton. So it is 400 kilonewton, and design shear for beam Q is equal to 750 kilonewtons. Firstly, we have to compute the nominal shear stress. So tau V for beam P, so it will be 400 into 10 to the power 3 divided by 400 into 750. So it will be 400 into 10 to the power 3 divided by 400 into 750. So it is 1.33 Newton per mm square. 1.33 Newton per mm square. Similarly, the nominal shear stress for beam Q will be 750 into 10 to the power 3 divided by 400 into 750. So it will be 2.5 Newton per mm square. So here we can see that nominal shear stress is exceeded by the shear strength of concrete. So for beam P, for beam P, tau V is greater than tau C, but tau V is less than tau C max. Tau V is less than tau C max. So shear reinforcement is provided. Shear reinforcement is provided. But for beam Q, we can see that for beam Q, tau V is greater than tau C max. Redesign the section. So here we can see that options: shear reinforcement should be designed for 175 kilonewton for beam P, and section for the beam Q should be revised. So we have to find the shear reinforcement for beam Q P. So for beam P, shear reinforcement for beam P, for beam P, BU minus tau C into BD, shear reinforcement is required, VUS. So it will be VU, it will be 400. So 400 minus tau C is 1.33 into BD. So it will be 400 into 750. 1.33 into 400 into 750 divided by 1000. So it will be 400 minus 1.33 into 400 into 750 divided by 1000. So it is coming, sorry, tau C is here, tau C is here, tau C is, it is coming, tau C is 0.75. So it will be 0.75. So it will be 0.75 into 0.75. So it is 175 kilonewton. 175 kilonewton. So if I see the option, so it is shear reinforcement should be designed for 175 kilonewton for beam P, and section for beam Q should be revised. Option B is nominal shear reinforcement is required for beam P, and shear reinforcement should be designed for 120 kilonewton. So it is option B is wrong. So A option is correct. The beam Q should be revised and shear reinforcement should be designed for 175 kN for beam P. Let us take the another problem, that is an RCC beam of rectangular cross section has factored shear force of 200 kN at its critical section. Its width B is 250 mm and effective depth D is 350 mm. Assume design shear strength of concrete as 0.62 Newton per mm square and maximum allowable shear stress is 2.8 Newton per mm square. If two-legged 10 mm diameter vertical styrope of Fe250 grade of steel are used, then the required spacing as per limit state method will be. So the factored shear force is given, it is 200 kilonewton. So Vu is 200 kilonewton. So nominal shear stress is 200 into 10 to the power 3 divided by V is 250 by 350. 250 by 350. So it will be 200 into 10 to the power 3 divided by 250 into 350. So it is coming 2.29. 2.29 Newton per mm square, and maximum shear strength of concrete is 2.8. Tau C max is 2.8 Newton per mm square and tau C shear strength of concrete is 0.62. 0.62 Newton per mm square. So here we can see that tau V is greater than tau C, but tau V is less than tau C max. So the shear reinforcement is required. Shear reinforcement is required. How much? It is BUS. So for vertical stirrup, we know that shear strength is 0.87 Fy ASB into D divided by SB. So spacing can be written as 0.87 Fy into ASB into D divided by VUS. So it will be 0.87. Grade of steel is, it is given 250. So 250 into two leg 10 mm diameter. So it will be 2 into pi by 4 into 100 into effective depth is 350 divided by 4 into VUS, means VUS can be written as VU minus tau CBD. So it will be 200 kilonewton. So 200 into 10 to the power minus 10 to the minus 10 to the power 3 minus tau C. Shear strength of concrete is 0.62. So 0.62 into B into D 350. So it will be, if I compute, so 0.87 into 250 into 2 pi into 100 into 350 divided by 4 into 0.62 into 250 into 350. So it is coming 82.04 mm. 82.04 mm, or we can write 8.2 centimeter. So the spacing is, required spacing in centimeter is 8.2 centimeter.